Hey guys, I want to do a little update on Front Row Motorsports. I want to do a little brief recap on the Texas race and kind of what I thought about how the team performed and other things of that nature. So let's get right on into it. Uh, you had Matt Tiff had to sit out, and so John Hunter Nemechek filled in, and I don't keep up with the bottom series. I just don't. It's just like NFL. I don't keep up with college. I just watch the NFL. That's just been me. I watch like Xfinity races and stuff from time to time, and I go to like wheel and modified races and like super late model races and stuff at home. I just don't follow closely the bottom series. So I didn't know much about John Hunter Nemechek. God, I want to say Nemechek. But I knew enough about him to where I knew he'd won some races, and he's a rising potential star in the sport. Of course, everyone knows his dad, Front Row Joe. But anyways, so he's filling in for Texas, Phoenix, and Homestead for Matt Tift. And I was really nervous. That 36 team has I think that 36 team at Front Row Motorsports has done, about the best they can do or could do this whole year. They ain't tore up many race cars. They finished almost all the races, and they've, in my part, they haven't beaten themselves a lot, and they've capitalized when they needed to. They haven't. I don't hear Matt Tiff getting a lot of speeding violations down pit road and all kinds of other crazy stuff. So they haven't beaten themselves. The cars haven't really had the greatest speed, but they've gotten better. Now that they're coming back to some of these tracks for a second time, and they rebuilt a lot of the chassis and stuff because they made mistakes in the beginning of the season, they've done better. So I'm really happy about that. So I was a little nervous about John Hunter Nemechek coming on board. I said it again, John Hunter Nemechek, JMH, JHM. Let's try that. JHM. No, JHN. We'll get it right one of these times. Good grief. But anyways, yeah, I was a little bit nervous about Nemechek coming on. I thought that, look, let's face it, Front Row Motorsports isn't exactly Hendrick Motorsports or one of those guys. So for his first start, I wanted him to be able to have a good first Cup debut, and then not be on the headlines that he finished 35th because Front Row Motorsports cars were just not set up right and just that crappy. I didn't want that to happen. And to be honest with you, I knew that they would be slow. I just knew that with the car and everything in him, I just knew they weren't going to. I knew that was not going to be a top 15 to 20 car no matter what. That just was not going to happen. And it had nothing to do with his ability. It was just the team, and those cars aren't capable of that on that to 36 team. They're capable of that with a 34 and a 38 some weekends, not all of them, but not with the 36 car. So anyways, moving on. Qualified all right, qualified 27th or somewhere around there, 26, 27, 28, something like that. And I felt like the car was pretty slow in the beginning, and luckily they just kept getting all these cautions. And I think they were able to make some really good adjustments throughout the race, or some decent ones. And I think without all the wrecks and stuff, they would have finished not 21st, but more like 28th or 29th. But towards the end, they were able to get better short run speed. I think the long run speed, because you could tell him and Wallace kept racing together for a while, him and Bo Wallace. And by the end of the runs, Tift would go from like basically, half a minute back to he was basically 3 minutes behind him on the track. Or I'm sorry, 3 seconds behind him on the track. So it would have been like, it would have been like basically, he's running like a 15 or whatever on the thing, and then on the interval, and then it would be like a 18 something like that. And it just kept falling back, so you could tell he was slowing up. I don't know why I said minutes. I meant to say seconds. That was stupid. But anyways, yeah. So he was about 3 seconds off from Bubba Wallace at the end of the run, and those two were neck and neck. For most of the race. For about half of it, it seemed like they were kind of like in the same position, like where Wallace's car really wasn't fast enough to get past that next position and so forth. But anyways, so John Hunter Nemechek finished, got the 21st place, and yeah, he beat his teammates, but I mean, Michael McDowell actually had a pretty decent car, and he had mechanical issues. And they would have been down a lot more laps if they didn't get all his cautions for that fluid. They actually had time to fix that. And then, David Reagan just got caught up in someone else's mess. But his car, I think, was better in tips, too. So, I don't want to keep hearing people say, like, oh, he finished in front of his teammates. Well, yeah, because one had mechanical issues and the other one got wrecked. I mean, how the fuck does that count? You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, yeah, I'm looking forward to Phoenix. I'm not banking we're going to really have good cars there. I think one of the F-Arm cars will be good, and I think I don't know. If it's tough. It's going to be McDowell or Reagan, but I think that John Hunter's going to be able to use some of his experience now, and he's going to be able to kind of get a little bit of encouragement and I guess confidence, because they say a lot of driving, a lot of good drivers, sometimes they say confidence is a big thing, to get good runs. So I'm pretty excited about it, and I hope he does well. And we actually had pretty decent cars at Homestead last year, but it's always a new track, no one knows. Personally, I don't think it's that good of a track, but it's alright. It's kind of overrated. But anyways, yeah, I was really upset to see Reagan and them, because we could have gained a lot of points on Wallace and Corey LaJoy, because I think McDowell's pretty much got it locked in. He'll finish above LaJoy, but he can beat Bubba Wallace. But Reagan could have beat him too, but they just got too far back. But he's only 5 points behind Bubba Wallace. He can get Bubba Wallace. We gotta finish in front of 43 team. That'll make a statement. We really need to beat them. We really, really do. So hopefully they do. That'll be a win. For us that'll be a huge deal, I think, and I think that's what they're trying for. And I mean, I'm sure that guys in the 43 camp are maybe thinking the same way, but they're not really close to anybody though. So I think if anything, they would kind of just be chilling. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm sure they're working hard, but I don't think that they're so much thinking how we are. We're thinking, hey, we can catch them. And they're probably just thinking, hey, they're not going to catch us, and we can't catch Ty Dillon, because Ty Dillon's like, is it Ty Dillon? I think Ty Dillon's above them in points right now. But he's like 15 or 20 above, and I just don't think Bubba Wallace is going to get that. And Ty Dillon, I mean, that team, they can have pretty decent runs. I mean, they're hit or miss, but, they can pop them off pretty decent if they need to. I mean, I think they're capable of that. In this last race, they did pretty decent too. So, but anyways, yeah. So that's the plan. It's for the 34. It is nice to see. Is it Yanmar sponsors? I guess they build like generators and their own line of diesel engines and this and that. They look like they're gonna be Front Row Motorsports' next Love's Travel Stops. Like a core long-term sponsor. They look like they're going to be that guy. They just seem like they're putting a lot of investments into marketing with their team and the YouTube thing, and they're filming how a race car is made at Front Row Motorsports. And I mean, I feel like they're doing a lot of things that to me signifies they're going to be on board. And to me, it's a business to business type of thing is what they call it. I guess it's basically,